This is NSR.
Hi, I'm Hope Lynes from NSR Music, and today I'm joined by Jess Spink, a brand new pop artist from London. Hi, it's really nice to meet you today.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
Whereabouts in London are you from?
I've just moved into Balham area, so near Clapham.
Oh, very
But yeah, I was
nice.
from Southwest London before as well.
Well, I'm all the way up in Newcastle, so you couldn't get further. But
I've
that's the
never
joy of
been.
Zoom calls.
I
You
really
should
want to go. Yeah,
you should have a
soon.
tour there. You should do a date on your tour. I'm sure there'll be lots of support.
Definitely.
So your new EP, Where It Goes From Here, came out in April. And it seems like Same But Different and Love Last too, the songs are doing really, really well. What's your favourite song on the album and why?
Yeah, I think each song, I kind of split them up. So I released lots of the singles before the EP came out. So it felt like each one had their own sort of little moment to shine. So I've definitely had different favourites sort of throughout the process. I think Same But Different, because that was the first song I ever put out, will always sort of have a special place in my
Yeah,
heart. And I wrote it during quite a difficult time for myself. So it definitely kind of was a rewarding process for creating something positive out of not the most positive experience. So that one will definitely, always have a soft spot for. But more recently, when the EP came out, one of the tracks called If I Could Leave got my first ever New Music Friday on Spotify. So that was a big sort of win for me as well. And I really loved that song. And I actually wrote that just with my friend Karis, like sat in her bedroom at her piano. So it was a really like organic kind of writing process. So that one is also a favorite of mine. But yeah, I love them all.
I saw that you got the new Music Friday, which is really exciting, and the new Pop UK. So you also had support from BBC introducing as well. So what was it like releasing your debut EP with all this like support from like really good people like for breaking into the industry? Was that really like helpful and nice?
Yeah, I mean, it was so overwhelming because I didn't really know what to expect sort of releasing this music as a independent artist. And obviously you put kind of so much of yourself into this work and these songs. So I was definitely like really nervous before putting the music out. And it was more, to be honest, about the response that I'd get like from fans listening to music and even from like friends and family and things. I wasn't even thinking about sort of media support that would come in. So all of that was just a complete bonus, and like it was just really reassuring that I must be sort of doing something right. And it makes such a big difference as well, like the different people that I've had contacting me after the Spotify support and the kind of new listeners I've got from the radio plays has been a huge help. So I'm so grateful that those sort of gatekeepers are helping independent artists, because
Yeah,
otherwise it seems impossible to get a share of voice. So yeah, it was amazing. I'm really
I can
grateful for this.
imagine it's like pretty overwhelming to just go from like starting out to just they throw you right in the deep end with all the support. But do you reckon that was like easier, especially over like being online? Because I know that, especially like for radio, it's been quite easy to do like promotions online. So do you reckon like if we didn't have Corona, do you reckon your EP would be more or less successful than it is now?
It's a good point, because you're right, like everything that I was sort of doing around the EP was kind of socials based, because we couldn't do like a launch party or a gig, or so a lot of it was really online. I think it kind of goes both ways. Like there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do that I couldn't do. Um, but actually it's meant that the kind of content that I have been able to create and post online has definitely like added to the support of like followers growing on my socials, and then that in turn I think definitely helped my pre-save numbers, which I think is what kicked in the algorithms with Spotify. So I
Yeah,
think overall like it all kind of helps each other. But I've really enjoyed the kind of growing my online fan base part of COVID, because I've just
yeah.
been like speaking directly with people and like just chatting about people going through the same experiences that I'm sort of talking about in my songs. So it's been really like a wholesome thing that I've been able to speak to people directly on socials.
That's really nice. Have you ever like have you done gigs before, or has it just been like local gigs with family, or I saw you got a gig coming up in Clapham. Is it in Clapham? Is that going to be like your first like proper gig with the EP out?
Yeah, it will be my first headline London show in October. That's in Notting Hill at Notting Hill Arts Club. But before that, I'd done like I'd done lots of local shows where I grew up in Surrey, so lots of like open mic nights in Guildford and things like that. And I did one London show just before lockdown, which was good and bad timing, because at least we got one in, but then it sort of meant that we wanted to do more and couldn't. But yeah, I did one at the Half Moon Putney in January. But this will be the first one where I've had music out, so it'll actually, people will hopefully know the words other than my mum in the audience. So yeah, really excited to perform the songs live now that they're out.
It'll be really, really exciting. I bet you're really looking forward to it. I was going to ask on the new EP, obviously it's like just pop music. Do you have a lot of influence from like, obviously like Olivia Rodrigo has come out of like the new album and like she's really big in pop right now. Would she be a big influence on you? Who were some other influences on the new album?
Yeah, I mean, like she's literally smashed it with kind of breaking down the boundaries of pop music as well, like bringing back the kind of Y2K guitar sounds in this new album. I've literally been listening to it all weekend, and I think it's like, it was really reassuring and definitely an inspiration to me that a song like Driver's License was so huge, because it was so personal and so obviously about such a specific scenario, but then that can translate to a really wide audience. But the fact that it was such a stripped back song and really personal lyrics, and then spoke to so many people, is definitely a huge inspiration to me. I also hear quite a lot of Lorde in her new album, and Lorde is definitely an inspiration to me as well.
I absolutely love Lorde. I saw that they just announced the Primavera lineup and that she was on it, and I was like, does this mean it's going to be new music? I was like, please.
I literally shared that, yeah, because I was like, no, that genuinely means new music. So yeah, really excited for that. And I could hear, like, speaking of Olivia as well, her kind of songwriting style, like the conversational lyrics, which is a bit of a Julia Michaels thing, who's also a big inspiration to me as well. So yeah, there's loads of like cool, strong females in the industry that are huge inspirations for me, for sure.
I also saw that Jack from Fickle Friends helped produce Love Last. How was that experience? Because obviously they've been around for like years. I remember seeing them at a concert in like 2017. Kind of just like established in the pop industry. What was it like working with him?
Yeah, I know, it was really cool, because I'm the same. Like I'd knew of Fickle Friends before. I'd like first introduced them at like a night at BIM University or something, I remember. So it's kind of like a small world that we've then ended up working together. But it was a friend of a friend who told me that he'd produced one of their tracks, and I didn't know that he did production on top of the Fickle Friends stuff. So yeah, I reached out, and then we had a few sessions down in Brighton where he's based, which was so much fun. Like I love going down there and feel like it's just like feel creative by the sea. And yeah, so he produced Love Last and If I Could Leave on the EP as well, and like did little bits of writing on them. And it was really cool to kind of, because he's definitely got a sound to his production, and there's like a Fickle Friends flavor in there, and I really love kind of like synthy pop vibe. But I think it actually was kind of weird that it went with my sort of sadder songs, because they're kind of like, the lyrics are quite sad, but then the vibe that we came out with,
it's very upbeat.
Yeah, it was boppy poppy stuff, so it was quite a nice like juxtaposition between that. So I think, yeah, it was so much fun working with him and getting those sort of flavors in the songs. And yeah, he's a really cool guy. I've got a session with him later in June, actually. So
very nice. Well, I first heard Love Last on the Student Music Network playlist, and I'm not even like the biggest fan of pop, but like I proper got into it recently with all the women that was popping up everywhere. And I do really, really like how your lyrics are so personal to you. And I think that the EP is really strong, and I'm really excited to see what happens next, and hopefully a bigger tour than just London. Hopefully it expands. Yeah. Hopefully the Northeast will see appearance. So it was really lovely to chat with you today. Really lovely to chat with you today. Thank you very much for your time.
You too, Hope. Thank you.
Bye.